Yeah, Nick Jonas is being attacked right now by former stans of his because he appears to take a liking to Elon Musk. And this all started because Elon was replying to a headline about the decline of Tesla. And they say in this tweet, everyone thought Elon Musk was destroying the brand of Tesla and he shouldn't be involved in politics. Tesla is up 100% since Donald Trump won. He responded to this headline with a GIF of the Jonas Brothers. I don't think he even knew that this was a GIF of the Jonas Brothers because Elon Musk is how old? Like 50?
Yes.
I don't think that he grew up with the Jonas Brothers like I did, so he
maybe his kids
probably just thought this was a meme and had no idea who these people were. But he said, "My, how the tables have turned." And Nick Jonas saw this on his timeline and probably started fanboying a little bit. He responded and said, "Take us to the year 3000."
And you had to explain this to me.
I did have to explain the context.
Never a
here.
teenage girl.
Yes. Well, I was actually like 8 years old when this song came out. But, during the prime days of the Jonas Brothers, as they existed as a boy band, one of their hit songs was called Year 3000. And... if you haven't listened to it, so you really should. This is going to improve your life significantly. It's a bop. A certified bop.
Gents, I would welcome anybody giving me the advice on whether that's actually true or not. Go listen to it after the show.
Not much has changed, but they live underwater.
So the point is that they're saying, they just assume that everybody who's ever entered like the pop music space is just a generic, I guess, liberal, even though I don't know what Elon Musk would have anything to do with politics inherently. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it now. Like the idea here is that he's tied very closely to Donald Trump. So you can infer, that's actually one of the sadder things about it is like, you can now infer someone's worldview based on how they feel about people that used to tangentially have no connection to politics.
Well, okay, if this had just been any random Elon Musk tweet, I would agree with that. Okay. But since Elon was responding directly to a headline that was about his benefiting from Trump's victory,
I was making more a general point.
Nick Jonas's response now seems a little bit more like it's not just pro-Elon, but also pro-Trump. Okay. So people really took it there. And he is a former Disney Channel kid alongside his brothers, but they also come from a fairly normal middle-class suburban upbringing. They were raised religious as well. I'm not entirely shocked that these would be their values quietly held for years. My only real...
exposure to Nick Jonas is he had like a 2 or 3 episode arc playing a bad guy on Hawaii Five-0.
Really? Yeah. He's so unconvincing as a villain, though.
He kidnaps Captain Grover's daughter and like locks her in a dog cage.
Nick Jonas does not look like the type. Like, that is really bad casting.
That is my experience with Nick Jonas. I think it was Nick.
That's crazy. Yeah. It should have been Kevin.
But the problem is that so actually it might be different. So liking Elon Musk generically may not say anything about you politically, but having strong negative feelings about him definitely does.
Yeah, I don't really care for Elon's personality.
But you don't have like a deep disdain for him that comes from people talking about how he's like a bad person and how it's weird because he's his causes should be like darling causes of the left, being like
transhumanism, for instance.
Yeah, but not just that. That's actually probably more in depth. But the idea of Starlink even seems like it should be something that they would champion. But also electric cars. Come on. They love that. They love it. They hate fossil fuels.
Right. Yeah, you would think that he would be their favorite, but a lot of people have a profound disdain for this man. And I don't trust him. And I don't particularly like him either. I don't feel any like... You know the way I feel about Trump?
Yeah.
Like, he just makes my heart flutter.
Yes.
Like, I just love Trump. I can't not love Trump. I don't feel any type of way like that about Elon Musk. Yeah. He's just not as charming, in my opinion.
I mean,
but aside from any of that,
they're vastly different people.
I am not going to be wishing death on anyone else who happens to be a fan of Elon Musk. Yeah. Like, that's the crazy responses that I've been seeing to Nick Jonas so far. First off, someone said, "I used to pray to God to take your diabetes away." For context, Nick Jonas has type 1 diabetes, and I know this because he was a vocal advocate for diabetes awareness back when I was watching him on Disney.
See, that's what
I don't know why they chose that to be his pet cause, but now...
That's what their causes should be. We should have completely boring causes from celebrities. Like anytime you go to IMDb and you see about some celebrity, it's like they're really big into animal rights advocacy. I'm like, that's awesome. That's
very
so hipster
vintage.
Now.
Yeah.
It's vintage. It's old school.
Yeah. But one person replied and said, I hope that he gets type 2 now. Others were hoping that he loses access to insulin because he's a fan of Elon Musk. Another one said, I did not have a crush on Nick Jonas for this to happen to me. This is why all the bad bitches liked Joe Jonas.
So they're turning it into like a personality test?
Raise the price of insulin now. Here's the thing, though. If Nick Jonas is, you know, kind of Republican-leaning or right-leaning, conservative-ish, I would guess that his brothers are as well. In fact, I even learned that Kevin, his oldest brother, waited until marriage. Like they were very publicly Christian as Disney stars.
That's a pretty big deal considering they were already late to the system. Like you would expect that to not even be part of the cultural zeitgeist at that point.
Yeah, that was back when I think like young stars were still, you know, wearing purity rings.
Yeah.
For instance, like that was a thing back then and it wasn't dated yet. It wasn't seen as cringe yet. But yeah, one person responded saying, people acting shocked about this development as if the Jonas brothers aren't just 3 non-college educated white evangelical men from New Jersey, statistically the most likely demographic to buy into Trump and Musk's whole deal.
That might be the most glaring example in all of this of why Trump won. The absolute like ego behind this tweet mentioning, first of all, I don't know if they're evangelicals, but the reference to non-college educated, which they love to point out.
Well, they're also pitting the brothers against each other, mentioning that his brother Joe has posted multiple times about being pro-choice, being pro-LGBT, so we can safely guess that he did not vote for Trump, didn't vote Republican.
That's weird because Trump isn't going to give an a national abortion ban either, and
doesn't matter.
Trump doesn't care about being LGBTQ, as we know, hiring the first openly gay cabinet member.
But that's also not good enough because he can post all the cute infographics he wants, but he has been already canceled for his messy divorce.
All this says to me is it's depressing, because what's depressing about it is back in the day, you could interact with who you interacted with and it didn't have to signal something greater to the culture. And if I was a celebrity, I wouldn't even want social media, because if you're talking about stuff like this where every single person that you respond to in any way, you have to worry about what the rest of the culture thinks of that person before you interact with them. And that's just not a way to live.
It's weird, though, because, you know, Grimes is a pop star. She's a pretty big deal. She had 3 children with Elon Musk. I have not seen the same level of backlash directed at her.
Yeah, but she has since publicly come out against him, and she did that before he went through the shift in the culture that he has gone through now. Who Elon Musk is to the culture now is very different than who he was even 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking how fast that happened, right?
It was already happening, but then when he bought Twitter, it went into overdrive.
He was very lib and pro-LGBT, including the T.
Yeah.
Up until quite recently. People don't remember that, but Grimes appeared shocked that he changed his opinions on those issues.
Well, I don't know what it means for all of it. I just do know that it's depressing.
$50 super chat from Jose Quintana. Merry Christmas, Optical Overlord and the Grand Ghost Empress. This is my gift to PCC for providing us with the enjoyable, cute, repulsive cringe and my personal brain rot. I serve at the pleasure of the Empress. Well, sort of. LLPCC. Is that long live?
Long live.
Sorry,
PCC.
long live PCC. Well, thank you for the big super chat.
Thank you for that.
Very much appreciate that.
Yes. And a Merry Christmas to you as
Merry
well.
Christmas.
May you watch many good Christmas movies over the holiday break and eat good food and all that.
Everyone in the chat, tell us
Spend time
what
with
your
your
Christmas plans are.
One of the things
Anything exciting we want to know about.
One of the things I regretted was like when I did a video for Red One, just a quick video on my thoughts on it, and then scheduled it for Christmas release. And it was like I did wish everyone a Merry Christmas at the end, but probably should have led with something at the beginning. But because I don't have the ability to focus like that,
this is more of your overthinking brain.
It's the way my brain works.
Like, no, you should have said Merry Christmas before that.
It's worse. It's not even worse. Like thinking it after the fact is bad. A lot of times I'm thinking it while it's going on, and that's why my train of thought is so horrible.
Do you remember this controversy about Starbucks cups?
Yes.
When was that? 2015?
Maybe a little bit.
Because I remember the Starbucks
you mean
cup.
the colors of the cups.
Yes.
And then having it to do with Christmas and stuff, right?
Yeah. They've always done Christmas cups. It just like randomly popped into my mind again. This was before I was really politically interested, but they were mad. Like there were Christians who were like mad that the Starbucks Christmas cup was just red without any designs related to Christmas.
Yeah, because they felt like that America's cultural identity and practices were being kind of slowly removed.
But the other cups never had anything related to Christmas either.
Yeah.
They just had like random
we talked
like
about this
sleighs and stuff.
We talked about it last year a little bit, which was like I started looking into the whole idea of the war on Christmas. And you can go all the way back to the late 90s and the early 2000s, and we
did a video on that.
And you and you really get a feel for just how long all of this cultural back and forth has been going on, because
the culture war
as it is today, you know, however urgent you may think it is, and I suppose it is, has been going on for a long time. And then you look back and you're like, the Glenn Becks and the Breitbarts, and they were all talking about this stuff before I was in high school.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.